Hi there. Are you somebody who feels like they may have been holding back with their life or playing it small as a result of being neurodivergent, or perhaps just feeling a little bit different? If so, then this video is for you. So I'm Nikki Butler, also known as the Autistic Joyologist, and I was diagnosed autistic and ADHD in my mid-40s a few years ago. And ever since then, I've had these really deep reflections and aha moments around life on the whole, but also in terms of my achievements and what I have and haven't done. So I'd spent well over a decade in corporate legal management, and I reflect back on that time and where I did hold back and I played it small. I used to help other people progress with their careers beyond the point that I was. So I managed quite large teams and I would mentor them and develop them so that they would go on, be promoted and climb the career ladder. But it was never something I wanted for myself. In fact, my last corporate position that I was there for about 3.5 years. I never went beyond the position that I was in. And that was because I was afraid that I wouldn't cope. I was already struggling within the environment that I was in. And outwardly, I was seen as being successful. I had this great legal career. From other people's perspectives, I had what you would consider a successful professional life. But I always held myself back for fear of not being able to cope or to be able to perform at a higher level. And that's because of the effort that it took every single day to show up, to be exposed to wide open plan offices, like over 2,000 people on campus, flying in and out of meetings. Like, there's sensory overwhelm from everything that I dealt with on a daily basis. The thought of being promoted and doing more was just almost paralyzing for me. It was too much to even be able to do what I was doing, let alone think about progressing my career. But I had managers that would say to me, you're capable of moving to the next grade or moving to the next level. And I sort of reflect on that and think I was holding myself back from my capabilities because the environment that I was in didn't support what I needed to thrive. It didn't support me in terms of being autistic or ADHD. And actually what happened in that role is I had a huge catastrophic burnout, and it saw the end of my corporate career at the age of 36. And that's also played out during my entrepreneurial life. So I initially set up some small businesses, hobby businesses. I learned very quickly not to turn my hobbies into businesses because I lost the passion and the thrill of doing them. But it wasn't until around 5 years ago, from an entrepreneurial point of view, that I started to step up and play it bigger and to do the things that I wanted to do in the way that I wanted to do them. And I played it small for a long time for the same reasons. I was afraid I'd lose control. I was afraid I wasn't good enough, wasn't clever enough, capable enough to have a really thriving and successful business. And being diagnosed was a huge gift in many respects, because it helped me to understand that I wasn't less capable, I wasn't less intelligent, and that with the right structures in place, I could enable myself to work in a much more comfortable, balanced and calm way, which meant that I could step up and reach my full potential. And that's still a very much a work in progress. The little gremlins creep into the brain to sort of say, can you do that? Can you do this? I'm battling being autistic and ADHD, which sometimes feels like I've got two different, people on my shoulder. I often just say that my ADHD is like a little devil going, do it, like egging me on to do the impulsive things without really thinking about it. But then I've got, my autistic sort of side of me, which I sometimes say is like the little angel, which wants the plan and the structure and the familiarity and the safety that comes with the situation. So my autistic and ADHD parts of me are often in conflict. It takes quite a lot of effort to manage that. But now that I do understand that on a much deeper level, I can create my business environment, my personal environments to support me, so I have the opportunity to thrive. I can ask for help, I can bring other people in, knowing that I don't need to be good at everything, which greatly increases my ability of achieving my goals and success. But it really got me to thinking around whether that resonates with you, whether you are somebody that has maybe achieved on a certain level, but has always felt like there was something more inside of you, or that you've held yourself back because it felt overwhelming where you are and you just didn't know how to move forward, and it was safer to stay in an environment that you knew and was familiar, or you could cope, albeit barely, on a day-to-day basis. But what it would mean for you to be able to create an environment that was balanced and calm, where you could pursue a different avenue, potentially something that would be fulfilling and rewarding for you, if you knew how to set up those support structures and work with your unique skill set in a way that was good for you. I'd really love to know your thoughts on this. We talk a lot, or I see it a lot on social media and online, where people are talking about high achieving. There's lots of services available for high achievers, and I think that's quite a subjective term. So many of us achieve on very, very different levels, and our perceptions of what's high achieving or not will vary. And I know that there are so many of us out there that have perhaps achieved by a societal view or standard, but that doesn't feel like achievement for us, either because we know we're capable of more, or we're capable of something different, or that we feel like we're holding back because we're struggling with trying to exist in a society that isn't really designed for us. Let me know your thoughts. Do you feel like you're holding back, or you've held back? Is there something more, different, better out there that you would love to achieve? Because that's what I want to start to have the conversations about, not about who's high achieving or what high achieving looks like, because achievement is individual for every single one of us. Achievement isn't about financial growth or wealth or the status or the possessions you might have. Achievement and success can be living a life where you've got time to do things that you love, a life where you're calm and you've got balance, where you might work part-time, you've got time for your friends, for dinner with your family, for weekends doing the things that you enjoy doing. That is success and achievement. So let's open up these conversations, explore what that means for you. And I'd love to hear whether you feel like you've perhaps held yourself back, or would have loved to have done something different but haven't. Pop your comments below, reach out on socials, or you can always email me directly, hello@autisticjoyologist.co.uk. And I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about this.